Please, I am begging you, do not make these mistakes when planning your trip to Japan. I've seen so many friends come back exhausted with regrets, wishing they'd known these things before their trip. And as your bestie who grew up going to Japan, I'm here to help you avoid these very common, very understandable mistakes. I always say this, but Japan is very much a choose-your-own-adventure type of destination. There's obviously so much to do, so much to see, but you kind of need a bit of a game plan in order to do it right, in my opinion. Although there's not really a wrong way to do it, okay? I don't want to stress you out. The first mistake I see hands down is overscheduling, especially for those A-type planners. And look, if that's your jam, then I love that for you. However, I actually think that so many people miss out on the magic of Japan, or any country for that matter, when every single part of their day is scheduled. Like I said, there's so much to do in Japan, period, but I also feel like the internet does such a good job of gaslighting us into feeling FOMO about doing absolutely everything, myself included. And there's honestly, no way that you're going to be able to do absolutely everything. So I feel like we're doing ourselves a disservice by not allowing breathing room in the itinerary. Some of my most wonderful experiences were from unexpected places, and definitely not by being glued to my phone looking for the next destination. So a piece of advice I have to avoid this mistake is consider what you personally want to do versus what the internet is telling you to do. I've personally noticed that I feel a little bit more stressed, more disappointed actually, when I'm trying to fill my schedule with all these things I think I should be doing or that I have to do in order to maybe like grab content versus what I genuinely love doing when I'm in Japan. Which is why I also think it's imperative to give yourself at least 1 to 2 free, full free days to explore or just see where the day takes you. Or pick one must-do activity and kind of build your itinerary around that. I actually have the perfect hack for building your itinerary, which leads me into mistake number 2, not booking your must-do experiences in advance. I'm talking to you type B planners, which is also me. And because I'm such a laid-back, go-with-the-flow type planner, I've come up with the perfect flexible system. Make a prioritized list. So start with your must-dos, including restaurants, activities, experiences, etc. Many popular activities open their reservations within a specific time window, meaning they don't let you book until 1 to a few months out. At the same time, super popular attractions will book up really quickly. Things like, say, the sunset time slot at Shibuya Sky, maybe Ghibli Park tickets, also the Saphir Odoriko train along the Izu Peninsula. I've actually made that mistake myself and had to restructure my entire little itinerary around that trip. The same goes for popular restaurants. So if there are things that you really care about doing, just make sure you're doing your research far enough in advance so you can book the things that you want to do. The next thing I suggest is making a prioritized wish list of things that you want to do but are flexible on. I actually bookmark all of my wish list activities on the Klook app so that I can basically refer to it later and book whenever I'm ready. And for a go with the flow traveler like me, I've booked things as late as the day of. I also end up making lists for things like foods that I want to eat while I'm in Japan, neighborhoods that I want to visit, maybe restaurants and shops in those neighborhoods. Or you could even save the locations on your Google Maps so it's just there for you. I just like having a loose framework that allows you to explore and discover new things while having some structure still in place. This actually reminds me of another mistake people make. So mistake number 3, not managing expectations accordingly. If you've been dreaming of traveling to Japan for your whole life, then you probably have an idea or expectation of what you think it's gonna be like. I can't tell you how many comments or messages I've received of people asking what is the weather gonna be like when I travel there April 2028? Is Team Lab Borderless worth it? Should I do Tokyo Disney Sea or Tokyo Disneyland? And look, I totally understand that opinions from trusted sources help you arrive at your decisions. But how you experience things, what you like, what I like, what you're gonna be most excited about versus what I'm gonna be excited about, those things are gonna be very different. Not every meal is gonna be a banger. Maybe you'll end up loving Team Lab. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, but that's really for you to experience and decide. So don't worry, just focus on being present and going with the flow. Be okay with the fact that you're not gonna be able to control every aspect of your trip. Because even when friends ask me what they should do in Japan, Japan, like to me, my brain explodes because it's such a loaded question. So I always ask them these questions. How do you like to travel? Are you like a foodie? Do you prioritize shopping? Do you like luxury? What are your energies like? Like, what's your capacity? Trust yourself and trust that you can make the decisions, knowing that like maybe you're not gonna like one or two experiences, and then just have fun. Mistake number 4, not considering travel time and energy. Public transportation in Japan is so convenient, but I think a lot of people forget that sometimes it takes a lot of like time to get to certain places, even if it is convenient. And it also takes a lot of energy. You're around a lot of people, you're navigating a new train system, you're navigating not speaking the language. I kind of touched on this before, but I really suggest bundling your activities around specific locations and areas. I think this is one of the best ways to preserve your energy and still see a lot. For instance, on a day you're planning to go to Team Lab Planets, maybe I would hit up Tsukiji Market in the morning and like prioritize going to Odaiba or Toyosu Manyo Club Onsen. This is also where that list of shops and restaurants by neighborhood would really come in handy. Like usually on days that I have a nail appointment in Setagaya, I build like a shopping day around going to Shibuya and Harajuku, or sometimes if I do Shimokitazawa, I'll also do a shopping day in Shibuya and Harajuku. I like shopping. But on the topic of preserving energy, this is actually why I always recommend booking your Shinkansen tickets through Klook, especially for first timers or people that aren't as tech savvy or who are intimidated by taking the Shinkansen in the first place. Like my time and energy are worth more to me than anything at this point, but I really have noticed that Klook is such a great resource for first-time travelers because 1, it's stupid simple and you don't have to worry about standing in a line. You can just go through the gate by scanning your QR code. And of course, it's also super convenient because it allows you to house all of your bookings in one app. That's like my favorite part about Klook. Additionally, Klook offers a variety of different options for transportation and sightseeing, including like subway passes or the Have Fun and Kansai Pass. I was able to do the Wonderloop bus recently in Osaka, which is a hop-on, hop-off bus to various like tourist locations. Honestly, super worth looking what Klook has to offer in that department. Mistake number 5, only eating sushi and ramen. I am so firm on this. There are so many foods that you can eat in Japan outside of 7-Eleven, sushi, and ramen. And I really think it's because people don't know what they don't know. I feel like in the US, we've kind of come to know Japanese food as sushi. As a Japanese American, I feel like it's my duty to educate you. And I get it. Japan is the birthplace of sushi and it is so fresh and so delicious. But I personally get a little frustrated when people say they can't wait to eat sushi every single day. Fun fact, sushi is kind of like a special occasion kind of meal. Even though we love it in my family, it's always been something we've had for like a celebration or a birthday. We recently actually did like a very amazing sushi restaurant for my great aunt's 90th birthday. And of course, ramen is also great, especially on like a cold, rainy day. But there are so many different types of noodles in Japan. There's udon, there's soba, there's somen, there's tsukemen. Even pasta in Japan hits hard. And as a noodle enthusiast, it actually pains me to see all these other noodles underrepresented. So here are some foods that I feel are worth adding to your list to try. Tonkatsu, tempura, okonomiyaki, yakiniku, yakitori, donburi. Definitely make sure you have Italian food. Oh, and go to a panya, which is like a bread shop. Try all the street food, obviously. There's takoyaki, dango, taiyaki. Also, depachika, which is like department store basements. They have a lot of grab and go food options. One of my favorites is Seibu Ikebukuro. And then my absolute favorite, yoshoku, which is kind of like Japanese diner food. It's like hamburg steak, omurice, omuhayashi, like that kind of stuff. So many good foods. I think you get it. Mistake number 6, overpacking. I know many people are actively trying to reduce like so much consumption overall, but Japan really is a dream for shopping. And I mean all different types of shopping. Skincare, fashion, dishware, vintage, secondhand, anime goods, like the list goes on and on and on. Like obviously you're gonna wanna leave room in your suitcase to bring back all the goodies, but I also think there's other factors that people don't think of. One would be lugging your bags like all around Japan while you're traveling, although you could always do luggage forwarding. Also, the fact that a lot of hotels and Airbnbs already have a lot of the amenities you'll need, like shampoo, hair dryer, conditioner, sometimes even toothbrushes, sometimes even pajamas. Like for anything you forget, Japan will have what you need. Most of the time, personally, like I don't even bring an umbrella unless like it's gonna be raining the day I get there, because most of the places I stay have extra umbrellas on hand for me to use. And as much as I try to prepare for the weather in Japan and just like the fashion and whatever I'm gonna wear, I can't tell you how many times I've had to purchase extra layers, or I've wanted to purchase like different clothes to wear while I'm there. I think if you kind of keep it minimal and do more of like a capsule wardrobe and find places that have, you know, maybe laundry to do, I feel like that's like a better bet, because it's inevitable you're probably gonna come back with a lot of stuff. This last mistake might be a hot take, but that is not spending enough time in Tokyo. I hear so many people argue that Tokyo is so overwhelming, or they want to prioritize more off the beaten path destinations. And look, I totally get it. Tokyo is kind of a beast. But I also feel like everybody who thinks this is hardcore missing out on what they're completely unaware of. Like if you've been to Tokyo once, that does not count. I'm sorry. And I will also admit that I am super biased because both sides of my family are from Tokyo. But that's actually all the reason why you should trust me. The first reason why I think it's a mistake to not spend enough time in Tokyo is because there are so many wonderful hidden gem neighborhoods. And these are neighborhoods that don't feel overwhelming. These are places that have like amazing cafes, restaurants, or like beautiful parks. Some of my favorite neighborhoods include Kichijoji, Koenji, where my absolute favorite vintage handbag shop is. There are so many gems, and I feel like especially if you want to prioritize seeing some of the touristy things like going to Sensoji Temple in Asakusa or Shibuya Crossing, it would be a bummer if you didn't get to explore places like Shimokitazawa. The other reason I think it's really important to prioritize extending your Tokyo portion of the trip is because of how many amazing off the beaten path day trips there are from Tokyo. Or actually even like short staycation trips that are just much easier to access from Tokyo. For day trips, I highly recommend, even though it's gotten so popular, Kamakura. That was always a place we really loved going because my family lives very close to Kamakura. If we're thinking Kanagawa Prefecture, also Enoshima, Yokohama. Other awesome day trips include Nikko, if we're thinking like Saitama area, Chichibu, Kawagoe. It's also really easy to do a day trip to Mount Fuji area, whether you want to go to Hakone or Kawaguchiko or Yamanakako, or you could make a Mount Fuji little staycation trip out of it. Again, super accessible from Tokyo. Other short trips that are accessible from Tokyo, Kanazawa, and the Izu Peninsula, which I went to last spring and absolutely loved it. I'm sure I'm missing more, but these are definitely the most common mistakes I've seen people make in the last however many years. Please don't hesitate to drop any questions you have in the comments. And if you enjoy learning about Japan travel or seeing what I've been up to with Klook in Japan, please like, subscribe, share with a friend. You can actually catch even more of my Japan adventures over on my channel at Sugi No Filter. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Goodbye.